Tell you, announcing on Facebook that you're having a ceremonial lighting of your house certainly does attract a lot of negative energy. We send our love and blessing to all life, and if there's any doubt that I ever was controlled by a magician that was not of the light, I think tonight will prove that I am. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with these three angels overlooking my master's degree from the University of Tennessee. You can understand, Joseph Johnson was the president of the University of Tennessee, how Joseph and Hans and Paul became such profoundly influential in my life, in my study of spiritual alchemy and determining the ability to find perfection, which is just the ability to love everyone. This is my degree from the University of South Alabama, and here we have Frederick Whitten. Quite interesting over here as we're moving into the sun is there Shade the dolphin of transformation, or Christ kissing me. And this is the mirror that I often talk to. I guess you'd say the sun here is the mirror that I talk to the people in eternity with their light down below. We're actually in the convocation of spirit. This is where I sleep. This is the room, that's my mother. This is the room where I guess the God-man expresses Lee Hunt, Louis Claude de Saint-Martin, and the magicians of Little White Light reside. And that is Raymond Bonquel, which is quite interesting because I bought that before I ever knew St. Raymond, or Raymond Charles Barker, and it's a picture of the French actor of all things, Jean Marais, France, Raymond. And I guess overcoming my desire for things like that had been my life's work. This is my living room, or this is I guess, the place where the convocation of spirit God-man sleeps. And to get out of here, there's the coexist bumper sticker. You have to believe that all paths to God lead to the same understanding. And I really do need a friend to get this bed on that wall facing that way, so I'm facing toward the eternal crown. This is with reconciliation. And this room right here is my editorial that I wrote many years ago. What was it? October 1st, 2006. That mental illness does not have to be a lifelong affliction. So far, I'm proving that the blessing of Christ God can truly transform that side of us which is not expressing harmony back into harmony through Christ's love by learning the presence of love. This is lighting my candles, so I guess you would say that there are 3 candles in the convocation of spirit, 2 lamps, and 1 light bulb overhead, which is quite interesting to say that my God-man room is Tifera. There are 6 sources of light within here. We go through the coexist into the convocation of soul. And when we're in the soul, we're seeking reconciliation. So if that was 10, 9, 8, 7, we're moving into 6, 5, 4 here, and through the other room, through that doorway, is actually the ascension or the convocation of body, which is 1, 2, 3. So if you think of my life here, we are basically in the convocation of soul, expressing the 4th, 5th, and 6th level of being. And that which is in front of us there is truly what I call my little Keter altar with reconciliation, or it is actually Hesed, if you're seeking reconciliation and going toward the altar in Jebura. So if you understand this room, if you're reconciled as a being, a vessel of God life expressing through you an expression of Christ on earth in you, then this room is where the light of God guides and teaches us. And if we're going with reconciliation, this room right here is the Keter. That's why we have the Templar Knight and the Maiden. That's kind of like Margaret Fuller with her Templar Knight, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Raymond Charles Barker that has St. Raymond there with him, and the Angel of Temperance. There's a St. Ignatius medal. There's a rainbow that a wonderful woman at my church gave me, or a dolphin. The red Buddha. The purple candle, which is just about gone. I'm going to need a new one. And that was my purple Magi. over the Buddha garden that I got for my housewarming gift in, let's see, it was 1990, no, excuse me, it was about 2006. And then there are the candles, and I guess I'm not doing extraordinarily well job here with Christ behind them. Back there in the center with the Christ lamp above him, the light above him. Over here is my Catholic sponsor, Warren Wall, my mother and I, with a dolphin, going back to the candle in the Zen garden. And that's all very representative of what I think of as my crown in the soul, my crown in the light of God, the children of God, the light of God that exists through me. From there is the Fool, and the Fool goes into the body. From there is Netzach. This is Netzach. And there is a screen there, a television. And there is the crown of the golden framed Rodin, which is kind of the naked man, which is me. Some of the shells of James of Zebedee, the green candle, and a white tea light in a green snowflake, and a white tea light in a blue. It's actually a souffle cup, and I just need more receptacles. And then 2 candles, which was originally 3, burning in this German cup that is Algehauer Brauhaus. And that's where my weather radio is, too. And there is a lamp that I don't have lit there, but I guess I can turn on. If we have the enlightened crown of Netzach and we have victory, then the light is there for victory, the 77. That's why it's up high between my father with the bunny rabbit and my father there. That is the window to come in and out, so I guess you kind of come in and out through the window at Netzach. We come over here to the star, and you might think of that as Unity David at the top, or Charles Unity David. It is the child with the red and the gold rim and the flowers. Underneath that is David Hermes, I guess, which we're calling David Martin, and it is the victorious Christ of David slaying Goliath. The water is there. The angels are behind it with emancipation behind David. We have the angel there on the right, the story of Capopello in the center, and Ernest Holmes' directory of CSL on the left. All in front of a butterfly, a dolphin, a French fleur-de-lis, and another form of tea light or light worker there in 6. If you descend down here, you see that we have the mother with her son Dominic, the CSL minister, that actually Dominic Polyphorone created, which is some form of Christopher, Saint Christopher, expressing out of Christopher's lineage, which probably is a form of the Christ bearer in religious science, with the light worker there over the bread, and that bread's been there about 6 months. It is yet to mold. Then down here is another light worker over several books on Christianity, including St. Ignatius's spiritual exercises, among other things, on how to enlighten. So you're basically coming up from the 4th world to the 5th world with the mother and Dominic and the bread, to the 6th world of David with the water and the angel and our Ernest Holmes, and 7 here to Myrtle Fillmore's son, Charles Unity David. The door here is God Bless Our Home, and it goes out into the world through Hesed. So the way to leave as a God-man is through mercy. You go down 4 steps, or this is the 4th level of Azimuth. There's 1 step down for Briel, 1 step down for Yetzirah, and then when you're on the ground on the porch, it is Asaya. Coming this way is the sun. We have Uriel in a gold frame. We have Washington, D.C. We have the Mental Health America bell, the light worker there, a receptacle for water, and some pictures of Daniel here. This is Daniel Radcliffe, kind of expressing Harry and Daniel. Blessed with, we're given unto us exceedingly great and precious promises, that by these might be partakers of the divine nature. You might think of that as a form of helping people with mental illness expressed through service of Christ. Below that is our child Al. He is blessed down there with a copy of Creative Thought. These are some of my books as you go up to the stone's altar. And this is the Father's altar being protected by Michael. This is hot. Here we have water on the right, on the left, and in the center with the Magi candle there at the center. The Archangel of Michael, the Chinese screen, and behind it is the house of Emma Curtis Hopkins. And this is some of the interesting things of angels. Emma Bedingfield, which is probably a form of Emma Curtis Hopkins, made this picture for me in Christmas about 2008, I believe, which would also be hot. If I remember correctly, it was probably 2008. And it's a picture of a house at Christmas. And I put the picture from Emma behind the screen, for I guess you really would say that the house of Emma Curtis Hopkins is behind that screen for whoever does the alchemical great work with the stones. And there's probably too long to talk about all the stones here, but there's a lot of different stones expressed here. There was also stones expressed over there with David. There's a a Japanese geisha and the geisha pagoda there, or the Japanese pagoda there. So it's all very symbolic. Alchemy is very much about symbolism. Coming here, we have the Fool. This is the Hierophant's chair with my coat of many colors. That is our love bear, is the Hierophant with the books that we have to do self-transformation. And we have there the Hanged Man. That's the framed picture of the Ascension of the Virgin, or the Assumption of the Virgin, with the lovers there, the angel there, and some of the light workers there. So that's some of the symbols there for the people seeking emancipation, the light of God, I guess, seeking to try to get out the door through judgment, as the Hanged Man descending from Keter to Hakma in judgment. This is the chair that judges them, and then this is Jebura right here. And that's Jebura, and it's kind of taken on a lot of different symbols there with the Renoir, with the woman in the red hat. Time is there. The owl is there of wisdom with the angel in front of it. There's a little boy and a girl. Fortunately, there is water, a bluebird of happiness, a dolphin, and a little bluebird there with St. Teresa of Avila behind it on that side. Again, it's on top of a bookshelf. There are books there. With a chair at Auburn and a chair at Tennessee down below. Between the two are some pillows if you need to sleep. The Hierophant, I guess, can give you sleep on that side before you go to Jebura. That's why the pillows are there. To get into the God-Man room, it is the flight into Egypt. I don't know if you can see that, but it's Jesus and Mary and Joseph going into the flight into Egypt there. If you do happen to come out of there, Banah, here we have China, the Great Wall. We have the boat representing Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And here we have the lamp oil, the water, the hermit's lamp, the Fiji water, the boat, an extra wick, some water. There is one of the receptacles for the lighter. This is my Banah right here. And if you notice, the floor is 4. That would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You might think this is all the Master of Banah at 9. And then the boat, I guess, is at 10. Coming back through here, I guess we keep the clothes here in Justice. They really do go between Tifera and Jebura, and I keep the clothes here when I wash them for most of the day, right here in Tifera, or in Justice between Tifera. And in our Tifera, we have King Arthur, and we have water, and I have actually there on the table, I didn't take it off what I was drinking earlier. The cafe singer mother is there with some of her stones. We've got Teresa of Avila here with some stones. She was a mystic in the Carmelite order. Emma Curtis Hopkins was up there. She's now down here below with Noan and some of my Christmas cards that I have to do. This is kind of half an altar and half my coffee table, but it represents the Tifera in my life. King Arthur is the knight, or the king of the round table of the people that expressed there, and throughout this is just things of beauty that exist here in the fifth heaven of Tifera. You rest on my sofa here as either the hanged man and the fool, or you express here with the Divine Mother and the hermit. For the sofa runs from the altar of Jeburah here. Well, it's Jeburah with reconciliation as a God-man, or it's the crown if you're seeking reconciliation coming through the door. So I guess if you rest and you're seeking reconciliation, it's existing as the fool and the Hierophant and the Divine Mother and the hermit. And I guess when I, as the God-man, lay here, I'm actually expressing as the Magus. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm expressing as the Magus and the Chariot and Justice and the Divine Mother. Wait, no, I'm having to think here. It's the God-man. That's Jeburah. So that's the Chariot. And that's the Magus. And coming this way from the crown to Tifera would be the Divine Mother. And then Tifera from there would be Justice. So I was doing it right. I sometimes get a little confused. Anyhow, this is how the convocation of soul exists. If you look around, if you don't believe I don't like light, I've got more candles in their house burning probably than anyone in the entire city. This is my room. Over here is Hakma. This is my father's place. He's back there, Joseph Kennedy Schultz. He's behind, standing in front of the Middle Bay Lighthouse. There is some water here. There's a candle. Oh, and I realized I didn't light that candle. I guess it really needs to light, doesn't it? I guess someone kind of wants to scare children. We'll send our love and blessing. It is burning now. Sometimes, children, it's just an evaluation to see how scared you'll get if something doesn't work. That is our Hakma. It's Tiepolo and Young and St. Thomas Aquinas expressing as alchemist evaluating the children. There is a gray light here with a blue center. The light is blue, and it's got a gray flashlight upon it. Everything in alchemy is symbolic. This is the altar. You will see this is the Banat chair with the black shirt. I don't know if you can see it, so maybe I need to turn on a light. There's a belt around behind the black chair with the receptacle there being a lantern that was actually a heartfelt coffee cup. It's got a heart on it with another candle, and he can see with the glasses and his clothes. Here's the heating and cooling system over Christ. Probably upsets people to think of my altar with my picture on it. That's actually Ronald Joseph and Banat in the black frame as the evaluator. Jesus is the form of the Divine Mother in the silver frame as the Empress. What's that? That's mother and son. Jesus chose love. He chose the mother. He chose mother and son. Most Christians would say Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I guess as an alchemist, it's Father, Mother, Spirit, Christ, and the Mother and the Christ are the same thing. Actually, the Christ is the disciple of the Divine Feminine, Divine Mother. The Spirit here is St. James, representing James Emerson Harwell. So the Holy Spirit expresses the lineage of St. James of Zebedee, and I have a picture of my grandfather, the 32nd degree Mason, rather than actually St. James. He represents both St. James and Ralph Waldo Emerson and Harwell. And then the Christ there, kind of behind the chair of Banat, is in a gold frame, Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he provides the Universalist Christ to Priscilla Lakeland, which they ordained on the beach and created on the beach at the John James Audubon Sanctuary. You can see that there is water. Then that candle back there on the left is actually the James candle expressing against me. The one in the center is the Joseph candle. The one on the right is the Tiepolo candle of my father, Kennedy, which would be Young and Thomas. The blue candle is Robert David Hermes Hunt. The yellow candle is Raphael or Dominic. The candle there besides that is the Martinist order, and that's Unity David. Martin David. It's Martin David. And the red candle to the left of that is Jefferson Lakeland. When I said the candle behind the dove is Joseph, you might also think of it as Unity David there. Then you move down here, and this is the candle for my Christian initiation of Ronnie and Ron. The yellow candle is Hans and Gail. The blue candle there is Robert, all the forms of Robert in my life. Below that is Lorraine Sinclair, kind of my divine mother of alchemy. This candle has gone from 3 wicks to 1. I guess that's the way the angel wants it. And that is, of course, William. And then we have the green men there, which kind of represents Daniel and Emma. And some of the green men in my life. Those are the flowers of the divine feminine. This is my purple magi, which I think of Christopher. He's got a black top. That is the blue candle of Nellie Emerson, which was the mother of James Emerson Harwell. You think of her as the divine mother of wisdom, the mother of James. Here is the candle of Marjorie. It might actually be some form of my mother, Marge Ragona. And then here is my mother, Sonia. Over here is James Emerson Harwell. It's his lamp. I guess it's the source of knowledge, of wisdom for the men of wisdom. The candle back there is at the higher level of 5. That candle came from buying it at St. Ignatius back in 2005 when Harold was created. That candle actually was kind of kept all that time, I guess, by the angel from the creation of Harold in my Catholic confirmation, and I now burn it there in the share of 7 for the teacher. If you can understand this altar, Christ is in the center, the light of God is in the center. You might think the masculine is in the 7, the feminine is in the 6, where my mother, Emma, is really truly in the 6. So the 6 is reconciled Christ trying to find victory. The men in the 7 are basically the men and women of wisdom that have won victory. The chair on this side is the big ones that are the teachers. The chair on this side are the big ones or the evaluators. You might think of this as 16, this is 26, and this is 36 if you understand Hermetic Kabbalah. Then, of course, the 46 is right over here in Hesed. The 56 are the clothes that the light workers work. The 66 is the crown of Tipherah, represented by King Arthur. So he is the 66, the king of Tipherah. The victory, 77, there is the lamp. 88 is crossing the screen. You have the crown, you cross the screen to the house behind. And I really have nothing for 99 other than a map, so it's a mat. So it's kind of interesting. I need to work on my 99. I don't know if I ever got my 99 crown. This is the convocation of soul in my house of Uriel's Academy. Finally, we go through with Mr. Jefferson's blessing, Thomas Jefferson climbing the mountain. We go through here to the altar of the Divine Mother. It's a little dark in here. I might turn on a light. Basically, this is my Keter chair at Chachma. So we're going up. The computer and the wisdom is done at Chachma. This is the Chachma desk with the Keter chair with the clothes and the blue and red belt. This is the Banah table with the Banah chair behind it, so you might actually think that Banah sits in front of the Divine Mother, kind of as a form of protection. The wreath that was on the door from the initiation in 2010 from Easter, the Easter resurrection death, sits there, the flowers in front of the banana table. I guess that's Jefferson's mother, her flower, her wreath, in front of the table there where the angels in America sees with the angels see with the sunglasses. The chair has a lot of things in it, with Paramahansa Yogananda in the gold frame back there, with Daniel behind him, and the belt for the coat of many colors. Raphael is behind that. He is the healing angel, providing the healing and the restoration for the children. The Unity wreath, this is the wreath to Myrtle and Cora Fillmore and to Emma Curtis Hopkins when I joined Unity, and that becomes a symbol of the Divine Mother of Wisdom coming out of Charles Fillmore's Unity Church. And this is all a celebration to the Divine Feminine. You go straight up. These are some light workers in my life that represent through my family. That's me and the Hermetic Mother, and that's going to gold in freedom with the star behind it, being the star being emancipation. The star over here in the other room is where the water is, where David is. That's how in the body we find victory, and we go to the star where the water is and the bread is down below us if the Mother will get it. So you will see that we start down here behind the chair at 5. This level right here is 6 with the wreath. 7 is graduation with blue and gold honors, as I'm graduating with Mr. Pettis and Mr. Smith. Behind that is the picture of Uriel's Academy that the Mother protects. On the other side is the warrior, my father Bo, represented as a corporal in the Korean conflict in the army. Rise One, that is my Hermetic Mother in Egypt. As I said, these are the light workers. You might think of Dolly here is my grandmother, Dolly Gibson. She is the Divine Mother, I guess, of our academy on the Christian side. On the side of severity, that would be Jebura. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. You might say she is the Divine Mother in 7, and the Hermetic Mother is on the other side. And then in 8, the Mother's in the center. Dolly is again here with her 2 evaluating sons, Bo and Mac. And on the other side is the evaluation of my father Bo, expressing Tiepolo and St. Thomas Aquinas or Tommy McCara. And above that at 10 is actually emancipation there with the star above it. It is victory with the crown at Uriel's Academy in the gold frame, the Freedom Monument. If you understand the symbolism here, it takes all 8 candles burning, really, to get emancipation. We get the 2 mothers, which is the Divine Mother of Wisdom, which you might think of as the Hermetic Mother, the Mother teaching us how to utilize the wisdom of Hermes Trismegistus in order to understand how we relate to each other, so that's like the Divine Mother of Wisdom. Then we have the Divine Mother of Tifra. In that sense, that's a form of Emma Curtis Hopkins. So in this sense, if you're seeking knowledge in Uriel's Academy, this is truly the Tifra Mother with the yellow candles, and the blue mothers of judgment, of the hanged man, of the one in evaluation, as the Mother of Wisdom, or the Mother of the Divine Mother of Wisdom. That's basically the symbolism of my house. This is the tree. When you're standing here at the refrigerator with Emanuel Swedenborg in front of you, you're looking at the Kether, that's the 11. You turn around, going this way down. Going down on this side here is going to be our Bana, and over here is our Hakma. And as you can see, they have put up that my Hakma is totally enlightened, or that my judgment is complete. And that's all symbolic. Those bulletin boards have been built for about a decade, since about 1996, for about 18, 19 years. I moved into Medlock Road late 97, so actually they're about 18 years old. But that's how I have symbolically built my house. It's all gotten put here at this place. Hermes is here, representing the wisdom of Hermes Trismegistus. Going in this direction is Gandhi for the Masters of Nonviolence. He is over Hakma. If you can understand that the Hakma direction at my house is going toward Gandhi, I guess you'd say going to the Crown of Life is going to Emanuel Swedenborg. Going out the window here is going, I guess, to the wisdom of Egypt. And going in this direction is the wisdom of Emma Curtis Hopkins, having the Divine Mother of Wisdom teaching us the meaning of love. In that sense, when we're standing here as a God-man, coming up we learn love. We're going here, we probably learn more power. If we're going here, we're learning more peace. What are we going here? I hate to say it, but I guess it's a form of status. So it's kind of standing here as the God-man at the crown. If I go in that direction, I'm going with my Divine Mother with love. If I'm going this way, Hermes is more of a symbol of power. If I'm going to Gandhi, this is more of a symbol of peace. And if I'm going this way, it's like going to be God's elect among the predetermined elect. Or if I understand, he believed that the second coming of Christ had already happened and it had been entered into a situation where some people were God's chosen and some people were not, revealed the divine knowledge of Christ. This is my house. I guess we'll walk around and see how many candles are lit. It's still burning, though it's just barely, I guess. This is the Tifera candle. It's a yellow candle. It sits here on Tifera. So that's the enlightened Tifera with the bread there. The bread is underneath there. The water is here. The water pitcher is usually here. So that's 1. There are 8 here. That makes 9. So there are 9 candles lit in the convocation of body with 10 and 11 with both light bulbs on. So if you do not understand, when you have the body totally lit, you have 11. So there are 11 sources of light in Uriel's Academy when everything is lit with the body. We come in here, and I'm not even sure how many there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 lamps, and 5. So there are 5 electrical sources. And then let's just start counting candles. I'm sure the angel has done it right. We have not lit temperance, and we'll have to figure out if we're going to light temperance. Anyway, there are 5 candles, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. She has 40 in here if I had all the lights on, and I guess symbolically for completion I need to turn all of them on. And I guess we have 40 lit. There's one more lamp to turn on, and there's 40 in here. So when you're totally complete in the soul, there's 40 candles lit, and I guess you go on the journey. Now there are 4 more candles here to light, which is 44, and that's the merciful teaching Christ, and I didn't light them tonight, and I guess I will before I go to bed. But this is the stool coming into the door with Scooby-Doo there protecting everybody, and this is 44 candles here if they were lit. So in that sense there would be 44 in here. And then how much is in the crown of Jebura? In the crown of Jebura, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't get that one lit. It won't light. So there's 4, 2 candles on each side. It looks like it's Hakma on both sides. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. It looks like she pretty much lit what she wanted in here, because several wicks are not burning right now. But apparently tonight, anyway, there's 26, and there would have been a potential 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Looks like she gave me the union of water and fire rather than 33, for there are 35 licks in here. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Now that time I counted 34. Well, I was counting this one here, where that candle has replaced that candle, so I don't know how she looks at it. But if there's a possibility of 34 wicks in here, 26 are lit tonight. That is basically how the Academy works. Father, Mother, Spirit, Christ, this project kind of got thrust upon me. I didn't even know I was doing it till about a year and a half ago. My angel, my B'nai Elohim, by the name of Emma Louise, has taken me on this journey and taken me to this understanding of mystical Kabbalah and symbolically built a whole house. And it looks absolutely insane. I'm kind of surprised I hadn't been arrested. The thing about it is, it's a way that the angels teach. The angels teach symbolically, with letters, with numbers, with colors, with candles. Everything is a way of relating to one another without speech. I've found it a remarkable journey in life, a remarkable thing to learn, something that I would do all over again. As I sit here and King Arthur is there before me, I realize I was a Templar knight unaware. And my friend Gail that gave me the book, she gave me 2 books. She was one of the ministers out of Joseph Kennedy Schultz lineage. She gave me the book, Lorraine Sinclair, on alchemy, the alchemy of awareness, and I also got there the book, The Last Templar. Quite interesting. I didn't even know when I got that book I was a Templar knight. Been a remarkable, remarkable process throughout my life. See, there's 40 candles in here. There's 9 in there, so that's 49. 26 would be 55, 75, 76, 77, 78. I guess I went to strength, or the tower struck by lightning. Did I do that correctly? 40 plus 26 is 66, plus 9 is 78, 79. Wait, 40 and 26 is 66. 75, 76, 78, 79. I guess I've always known that my mind's a little addled as the professor, but someone do the math for me. 40 in here and 20 in there is 66. Add 9, that's 75, 76, 77, 78. Well, I think I got 78 twice, and that is the tower struck by lightning. And I guess that is what the Magi is doing, what I'm doing, the ceremonial great work of alchemy. The great thing to be grateful for is we don't have lightning right now. People have come to realize I'm not an evil man. Whatever the rest of my life shall be, I'm glad I took this adventure. Even if you were to nail me to a cross and crucify me, it's probably the most remarkable learning thing I've ever done in my life. I've learned more about myself, more about life, more about people, more about things that I never would have been taken into. I might have done it if I joined the Masons, the Hermetic Order, if I joined the Martinists, if I joined the Rosicrucians. And I've talked to all of them. I communicate with all of them, but I've never formally been initiated into any of them. In that sense, I am the Hermetic fool that got wise, realized what was going on, was taught the mystery of life. Was it all done as a self-initiation? No one ever has physically in body come up to me and told me, Ronald, you're now a member of our order. That being said, I guess I know I'm in that lineage. The lineage of my grandfather as a Mason, and the lineage of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn out of my grandfather, spiritual grandfather. And I guess also Martin is simply by choice, because I keep writing to them. I wonder if I'll ever do this with anyone other than myself. I pray that God will take me to the right places for the fulfillment of this, so that it wasn't just a vain attempt to find knowledge on my own, but a way to teach people the truly expression of God life, so that hopefully we can create more Templar Knights to restore more people, to gain more gifts and graces, to be able to restore more people and serve Christ. I guess some of you think that's abhorrent, to try to figure out how to teach people to overcome their Christian judgment. Personally, it's why I got involved with alchemy. It was to learn how to heal myself and to heal other people. It was not about just doing it for myself, but I always wanted to learn the healing Christ, to be able to turn the light of God in others so that they could find their way to Christ too. And I pray to God you'll find me worthy to do that. Amen.